What is good, everyone? Hope all is well. So in front of us, I present to you what I think is the most incredible product, especially for you video photographers, is the new OSMO Mobile 2 from DJI. These handheld gimbals aren't anything new. They've been out on the market for quite some time now, but are now much more affordable at a affordable price of $129 compared to the Osmo One. When released, that was retailing at $299. So if you're somebody like me who loves shooting video, shooting cinematic shots similar to this, or even vlogging, then this is something you will definitely want to check out. These gimbals are engineered to keep the phone stable when in motion to give your video a super smooth glide feel compared to just handhelding the phone while recording. Let's begin by going over some specs and changes they made from previous Osmo while we go through the unboxing. It has an internal non-removable 15-hour battery that can take up to 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100, compared to the last gen model that only had 5 hours of battery life and would take roughly 3 hours to charge, but had a removable battery. It weighs at 485 grams, that's 201 less than the Osmo One. It finally uses the micro USB to charge. It's compatible with both iPhones and Android, and it connects via Bluetooth 4.0 low energy. The bottom of the handle now has support for it to be mounted on a tripod, thanks to that tripod thread, and comes included with the same traveling case that you see on the Phantom 4. It has the same styrofoam-like material, and it's really awesome that they included that. And there's a nice mold cutout that allows you to place the gimbal nice and flat. The setup process can be a bit tedious, since their quick starter guide was a bit dull and boring. So I did what every typical civilized person would do and just Google search it online. So this Osmo had support for even the largest phones. I've seen anything as large as the Note 8 fit just fine on this. There also has been some custom made mounts that allow you to attach a action cam like a GoPro on this thing. I plan on covering this possibly in a future video. So once placed, you have to make sure the phone is balanced by rotating these little mechanisms that's on the sides. There's no tools required for this. You could do this on hands. So if you have a different phone or a friend's phone you want to put on, you could do that on the go. Once set in place, you need to download the DJI Go app that allows the app to pair and connect to your Osmos. And after that, you're pretty much all set. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the control layouts. It's slightly more different than the previous Osmos. In front of us, we now have LEDs that indicate our battery life percentage from full to 0. It no longer has a trigger button on the front that will allow you to normally press to recenter the subject or lock on. It has now been moved to the back and can feel odd to press at times, since now it requires me to release my thumb from the back and bring it up to the front to press that button. Then on the left hand side, we'll find the zoom in and zoom out switch. Then back on this side, we still have a PSP-like joystick that allows us to pivot the camera at any location or position we want to place it. Hit like if you remember what a PSP is or if you had one. But part of the tutorial also informed you that you could also pivot this by hand by rotating it smoothly and slowly. And also over here, we also see the shutter button that when pressed will activate the shutter, and if you're on video mode and you hold down this, it will start doing a photo burst. Now, a really cool thing about this little gimbal is that it does have a USB port in the back, and this thing could be used as a power bank to charge any USB supportive device. So when shooting time-lapse, this is really useful, especially since it has a 26-hour milliamp battery that should be enough to fully charge a majority of phones and keep the gimbal powered for a few hours. Now, the quality of the handle can feel hollow to some users. To me, it doesn't feel that bad. It feels really sturdy, but unfortunately, unlike the previous gimbal, it doesn't have a grippy tight texture, so if you have sweaty hands while holding this thing for a long period of time, it might become slippery. But the body structure is an A+ in my opinion. It's really sturdy. If I drop this, I can't imagine or seeing this thing ever cracking in the future. Now, DJI gimbals are jam-packed with a ton of features. Thanks to that tripod support, this thing could easily shoot time-lapse or when in motion, create hyperlapse, as well as motion lapse. Then the track feature is pretty cool, but the only thing is I wish it had like some sort of remote control feature, because I'm using a front-facing camera currently. I wish it was the other side camera, the one with the better pixel, and had like some sort of remote capability where you just click on it and it will lock onto the first object that stands in front of the camera. Instead, you need to manually go up to the screen and do a little box around the object you want to track. But the track is pretty cool. Look at this. Pretty dope. This is really great for those one-man camera crews. And it rotates fairly quick. The application user interface is so user-friendly that I definitely feel that anybody could literally pick this thing up and start taking some beautiful cinematic, epic-looking shots. Then if there's a time when you need to enable portrait mode, you can simply just rotate it, and the gimbal is smart enough to detect that you want it to be in portrait mode, and if you want to place it back, it'll go back to landscape mode. And if you want portrait mode to be the default setup when you start it up, you can rotate the knob on the back and set the phone to the portrait mode position that you wanted to start up each time you get on it. So social media vloggers, Snapchatters will definitely love this. But during my time of usage, I have experienced one issue. When running, for some reason, I don't know if it's the balance of my phone, maybe I have to rebalance it, but I balanced it a couple of times and I still run into the same issue where while running, the gimbal tends to shake rapidly out of control, ruining most of my shots. But when it comes to fast-paced walking or jumping over objects, this gimbal definitely does its job. So my final verdict, this thing's incredible. It performs really well besides the runniness, but I'm pretty sure it's just a balancing issue because I watch other videos and those users don't seem to be running into the same problem. This might just be my end, but when it comes to getting those epic shots for a cheap device like this, well, $100 isn't really cheap, but compare with the previous gimbals that have been out on the market for a while now, they started out roughly around the $300 price point. This is extremely affordable to most. So if you're in the market of picking up a gimbal, I'll highly advise you to picking up the Mobile 2, then another brand gimbal. Few reasons. I own DJI products in the past, and one thing I love about that company is that their software engineers are constantly adding new features and updates free of charge that support not only the latest model of that version, but also the past models, if that makes sense. So whenever their latest product is released with a new feature, they tend to integrate it on past products that could support it, which is why I have no regrets on picking up the DJI OSMO 2. Then going with like a ZQ, I believe was the name. But that's gonna be the end of this video. I'm definitely gonna be using this thing for future products, future videos, and taking it along some trips whenever I'm out adventuring. So that's the end of this video. Comment down below if you're gonna go ahead and pick up the Osmo 2. If you already have one, are you gonna go upgrade or go with another brand gimbal? I'd like to know down in the comment section down below. But as always, hope you guys have a good one. And if you found this video informative and useful, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss any more tech content videos like this. But until next time, hope to see you on the next one. Peace.